Greetings, people. It's Mr. Paul the Trigger yet again on another episode of the Enlightenment series.
Saint Rita, my destiny helper, how are you doing? You know, as I said to you earlier today, this guy is 100% my type. Dr. Chris Okafor. He has class, he is clean, he is polished. You know, so tell Papa, please. Tell Papa he needs to connect me. I feel this is the Ogasa that I need in my life. You know, this is the Ogasa that I can introduce to the world. This man is handsome. Jesus. My God. So talk to Papa. You know, you are my destiny connector and my destiny helper. You know, this guy is, I like, you know, this kind of polished guys.
Based on what you just heard from this previous short snippet, it literally has little or less of contribution to the topic of the conversation. But if you want to know when this message was sent across to whoever it was addressed to, as you can hear, Oma of Wakamo, you all know who this is. This is the oracle, the mother oracle, the oracle herself of Kenya, Reverend Lucy Natasha. Okay, now she's married to this other baby charlatan again called Camel. So I know the question you have now, most of you have now, is when was this recording done? When was this message sent across? And this message was being sent across to Okafor, Chris Okafor, the handsome man of where does Okafor operate from? I'm not so sure. So the reason why, if you want to know when this was sent, you have to wait. You have to watch this video to the end, and I'll explain. I know this on its own, it's a piece of content for bloggers already. That will probably, grab it by both hands and go start talking. Say, oh, so okay, people, wait, pause it. Let's talk about the reason why we are doing this video today, and let's follow through with the headline that you have read of how I found out that Doris Ogala was with Okafor. They were together. They are in this together. They are probably the bone of my bone, the rib of my rib. Definitely, there's no way Okafor can have people like Ogala just as associates. Impossible. On this one, I can put my word on it. That is an impossible possibility. There's definitely something going on between Ogala and Okafor. That's why I explained to you that at inception, Omoto had no connection with Ogala. It was Okafor who said, I have a lady that is known for this kind of matters. That can be a Delilah that we can use, because every man can never withstand the force of a woman. Women are very powerful. If you go through your scriptures, if you read your Bible properly, in Genesis, when God told that a woman must be submissive to a man, that was not trying to say, God was not trying to say that women are weak, or women are weaker, or women are inferior. God knows the power of women. Conquering women. Look, go through the scriptures. Tell me one man that overcame a woman. Well, just one. As wise as they were, as mighty as they were, all the giants, all the mighty men of God in the Bible. Tell me one of them that overcame the temptation of a woman. Doris was their last strike to say he can never make it beyond Doris Ogala. Impossible. Prof X, Mr. PDT, no matter what he calls himself, he can never skip this line. Doris Ogala is our last line of defense. She is the one that will put closure to this whole madness. She's the one that will disgrace, expose, trick, and have some explicit content of Prof X, because they wanted me to go to Nigeria. Probably we're going to be booked in a very fancy hotel. Very nice hotel. And me, I'm going, I'll be saying, oh, lovey-dovey. You feel me? So we're going there. We're in a relationship, right? Who knows? I could drink something that will make me sleep the whole night. Pictures all over. Videos all over. Prof X has been exposed. Here is your Prof X that is talking about charlatans. Here is he. Look at him disgraced. And that alone was going to put a black shadow, a dark shadow on everything that we've spoken about these charlatans. All of them are exonerated. All of them will be redeemed. To say, how can we be listening to Prof X, a blackmailer? How can we be listening to Prof X, a promiscuous human being, whatnot and whatnot? Look at him. You know, the people's minds, they adjust to new information or to breaking news so quick. So just a small dent on Mr. PDT, it can literally neutralize everything that I've said all this while. It can take away everything that I've said. Just a little exposure that can prove that Prof X has been found in fault, or Prof X is compromising, or Prof X is compromised, or Prof X has been found in the wrong place at the wrong time with the wrong people. Come on, that's just human nature. You people, even though you don't want to accept it, that's just what it is. The day tomorrow you hear that, oh, we caught, or if you were going to hear that, oh, we caught Prof X with Chioma, they took, let's say, naked pictures together. They were in a hotel, while it is coming online, he's scamming people online, and then he's blackmailing prophets, he's using information that he has on prophets to make money out of it. Already your minds would have already been, saturated with that narrative to say, come on, this man is just as bad, he's even more bad than they are. But I've always made a disclaimer from the inception that I'm not a saint. When you see me right now, don't see me as the saint that I am, but what I can assure you, or I can promise, or what I can ask from you is to count on me. Someone was asked the question to say, what if Prof X is going to disappoint you? You will see. What are you going to do when you finally find out that he is this kind of a person, or he is not what he claims to be? Whenever they ask you that question, always tell them that, listen, don't even be worried. You know why? You'll never find out. You never know how you will feel if I disappoint you or if I compromise, because I'll never. That's my word, and my word is my bond. When I tell you that when you're observing or when you're watching me, you're watching a master at work. This is a master at work. As long as anything that involves charlatans and these Nigerian false prophets, African false prophets, anything that involves charlatans, we wrote the blueprint, the rule book, their modus operandi. We know things that they do not know, or that they are still yet to know in the future, but they might not know it because by that time we would have gotten rid of this cancer called the prophetic, and of all these false prophets that is emanated in this religion called Christianity. You are watching a master at work, so just be settled. Let them say what they say. Let them cast any sort of form of aspersions. But just know that we conquer and we move. We are on a mission, and this journey that we are on is not an easy one. It takes a very qualified personnel, a very qualified captain, to be in control of the ship. Many have tried this, and many they have always fallen short. And there are always two things, in most cases. If it's not money, it's women. If it's not money, it's women. So Chioma was supposed to accomplish this mission using both herself as the woman and money as the aspect that they can use to track or to implicate or to get Prof X in some kind of a conspiracy theory that he was conniving with Chioma Johnson to take money. He was sending Chioma Johnson to go in and extort money from Prof X, so that when she gets money from them, Prof X zips his mouth. A good name is better than riches, is worth multitudes and multitudes. Once the name is tainted, you can never repair a reputation that has been tainted, especially when you are standing for something that involves issues that we deal with. Imagine if you wake up tomorrow and then you hear that Prof X received money to stop talking about baby testimony. What's going to come into your head? How are you going to perceive me from then? Not that I care what people think about me, but just for the sake of Mr. PDT. Because what I'm doing now, this is not a lifetime project. I'm just a messenger for this specific time frame, for this particular moment in our lifetime. The moment God says, my son, you're done, go continue with... I don't know if this is what God wants me to do, but we always listen to say, God, what should I do now? If your people been enlightened enough, do they know the truth that you want them to know? When God is done using me, come on, God is using me. Don't let them lie to you that Prof X is God is using me. If God was not using me, I was also experimenting to see if God is using me, to see if God is in it. When God is in it, you don't care. You just don't care. You just don't care about anything. You fear nothing. You just run the race and wait for God to lead and to communicate and to tell you what to do next, just like He's been doing. Imagine with all the damage control that they've done, with all the propagandas that they have sold. If God was not in this, all of you could have been, led astray. All of you could have, left this, this pursuit for justice for baby testimony. Because at the center of everything, we want justice for baby testimony, no matter the cost. And we'll get justice for baby testimony against all odds, no matter what they devise, no matter what they come up with. I'm talking too much now. The purpose of this video was to explain to you why or when I discovered that Chioma Johnson was actually an ally of Chris Okafor. Before I let you listen to my conversation with her, do you know a woman? Do you know if you're a woman, I want you to look at it from a woman perspective. Women are jealous in nature. So there are a few things that Chioma had to do, or that was her main role. Her main role, the reason why she was positioned in this whole thing, in this Enlightenment series. The first one was to get information. What kind of information? Was to know who is giving me information. Because one thing Jeremiah Omoto realized, Chris Okafor and all the other false prophets in Nigeria was, there are people in our midst. That's what they knew, that in their inner circle, there are people leaking information. There are people contacting me and giving me information about things that are happening in their shrines, of which is the truth. So for them to be at safe, they need someone who can tap into my intelligence and then kind of manipulate me to give them those names of people that are giving me the information, some of the information that is, that is incriminating to these false prophets. Because most of the intel that I release here is coming from the charlatans' inner circles. It's coming from their close, very, very close members. So Chioma was supposed to extract that information and know who and who. So that this, when she gets this information, she probably goes and sell it to Omoto or to Chris Okafor. Or they can probably, so that Okafor can be able to deal with these people or fire them from their system. So that Jeremiah can be able to remove these people from the what? From the system. In the other role, Chioma would not only get this information. When she gets this information, she now evaluates and see how valuable it is. If it's that valuable, she sells it to them. And she gets ching. And then she will tell them that, me and Prof X, we are in this together. We are doing damage control for you. So give us this amount of money. Give us this amount of money so that we don't expose this. I know she will probably start selling narrative that I'm the one who was sending it. But before she starts selling that narrative, listen to this. It's just a small snippet. Then I'll explain. Then I'll let you listen to the full conversation. Just listen to this quickly.
I'm angry at all those people. Show me what you got. I call those people and I tell them, listen, we got this on you. You guys should give us money. That's it. If you don't give it, then keep it. Then the guy that is giving you information, let's profile him and know who he is. If he's telling you the real truth. Or if he's working for him or not. It's very simple.
If you can connect 1 and 2 together here, you can already tell that she is there to make sure that I don't expose certain information. She's there to make sure that I give her everything that I have on them. And when she has those things, or if she has that intel, she goes to them and then she says, Prophet says this, give me money. Give us money. Because the impression that she had to make to them or to Omoto for Fen is me, her and me, we are. Feel me? So that was her role. She's also a smart woman. If she could not make money out of this, then she's not as smart as I thought she is. I don't have a problem with her robbing these charlatans. It's not my concern. With her taking money from them, it's not my concern. But my concern and my anger came from when she started trying to mess around with the case of baby testimony, with the issue of baby testimony. When she showed me that she doesn't really care about the missing child, that's when me became the Hulk, the green Hulk. Anyone that talks, I always told this to bloggers. If you have nothing to say about this case, just stay out of it. I even see this frustrated a woman from UK called Maureen, she also keeps saying, no, Ruth is not looking for the child. That one way has just been, let's forget about that one. But my point is, if you have nothing to contribute that is constructive concerning the case of baby testimony, stay out of it. You don't need to be involved. We'll never beg you to be involved. There's a line. If you cross that line which comes to try to lie to people that this child is not missing, then we have a problem. Because the child is missing. The last time he was seen was at Mercy City. Omoto has had so many chances to prove it that it was not at Mercy City, but he has been silent, which is enough confidence that the gentleman in Mercy City in Wari knows where this child is. So that was practically the role of Chioma Johnson. So this is what I did when I wanted to establish these facts. I called Chioma Johnson and then I told her, I found out information that Chris Okafor is having a relationship with some lady here in South Africa. And I actually have those details. This other married lady from here in South Africa. And I said I even received his passport, which shows, and other tickets, which shows their travels, where they've been going for holiday resorts and stuff like that. The moment she got that information, she became very sensitive. Very, very sensitive. You know, not sensitivity of saying, oh, that's information. No, sensitivity of being hurt as a woman. To say, what? So Okafor is seeing other women. That's what I picked up from her curiosity. Her curiosity was not in the context of getting a gist to say, oh, give me a gist. Let me know. What is it about? It was from an emotional disappointment to say, so Okafor, this is what he has been doing. So I want you to listen to this part of this conversation I had with her, which made me know that she was part and parcel of Chris Okafor. And she was very disappointed with the fact that Chris Okafor had a relationship outside whatever that they have. After that, there's something more important that I want us to look at. So just listen to this brief conversation, which formed the basic foundation of how I realized that Okafor is the one that deployed Chioma Johnson on this project. Check it out.
How can I stop it when you don't let me know what you're doing? Is it not when you keep me busy, I know what you're doing? You do your thing and you start to stop. What the fuck are you saying? We're on the same page initially. Right now, we're not on the same page. You do your thing. You tell me what you do. I don't know what you do. Do I know what you do anymore? Yeah. Have you ever seen anything you told me outside? So why are you doing things on your own? You don't tell me anymore. I don't have connection with you anymore. I see you out of me.
No, we're in this together.
Which word together? Which word? Somebody called you, give you information. I said, give me number, let me profile. I did not give me. You say you have pictures. I said, give me picture. I did not give me. What the fuck are you saying?
I'll give you, don't worry.
I'm not interested. Don't give me. So it's not helping me. I don't want to help you anymore. Do your thing. Run your thing. Make your mistakes. Fall into it. You're not seeing me. So if you're not giving me the things I ask you to give me, then don't tell me. You show me things I know what you're doing, then I know what you're doing. I advise you. So not showing me, then don't.
I also want to surprise you with my moves.
I want to see the pictures you have.
Which pictures?
The pictures you have, you said Okafor, hotel, girlfriend.
Did I say I have pictures of Okafor?
But the guy who's giving you information. I want to profile the guy. I want to know who he's working for. I want to know if he's in Amy or if he's working like the one that you told me that was working for Okafor finally works for Jeremiah, not Okafor. So all these things you lie. I just want to know the truth. Simple.
Well, you still just say I'm lying. Me lie. For who?
You lied that the other one was working for Okafor. When I provided a number, it was working for Omoto, not Okafor.
But what details have convinced you that he was working for Omoto?
My boys can never lie to me.
So when you profile him, and then what? What do you do with that information?
I just keep it for your
what?
safety.
What safety, man? What
This is,
safety are you talking about? Do I look like I'm vulnerable to you?
these guys are gonna keep quiet. They're gonna come after you. And
How?
when they come after you, I should be prepared.
Come after me, how?
How will I know? The one they came after you, how did they come after you?
Yeah, that was their only first strike, and it will never happen again, that nonsense. I had some loopholes in my system. Weak links. That's why they succeeded. Now they can't do nothing to me. I'm waiting for them, actually. They can never harm me, these people. I'm tougher than them. I'm probably worse than them. They should be the ones running, not me, not the other way around.
I want to see the pictures you have. Are you sending it or not?
What pictures do I have?
Pictures said Omoto went to what's his name again? Went to hotel and all that. I want to see the pictures before you post them.
I was lying. I don't have any pictures of that nature.
You didn't lie. You're lying now. You didn't lie to me last night. You're lying now.
I was lying to you. I don't have any pictures.
No, you're lying now.
What do you mean I'm lying?
You mentioned their name. You said Florence. You said they were traveling to different places.
Yeah,
you were lying.
That is true. That information is very true. I'll prove it. I'll prove it on Tuesday.
You prove it, but you said you have pictures.
What pictures did I say I have?
You said you have pictures of them together.
I did not say that. Don't lie. It's you who said that.
You said you have pictures of their travels. You said you have pictures of their hotel. You said you have pictures.
I said I have information of their bookings and their travels. I did not say I have pictures.
So where is the information?
I'll show you.
Show you now. I'm angry.
You do.
All these people. I'm angry at all those people. Show me what you got. I call these people and I tell them, listen, we got this on you. You guys should give us money. That's it. That's it. If you don't give it, then keep it. Then the guy that is giving you information, let's profile him and know who he is. If he's telling you the real truth. Or if he's working for him or not. It's very simple.
What real truth are you expecting? Me, the thing is, I don't want my guys to be out there. No,
the ones you gave me, are they out there? Are you okay? You're giving me two. I provide the two. Did you see? Did they tell you I called them? Are you okay? Profile the slip. When you profile somebody, you keep it for future purposes. You don't do anything with them. You don't call them. You just listen. They give you more information. You just listen. But you already grabbed them. That's what it is. That's the work I should do for you. I'm good at what I do. I've never lied to you. I tell you what I did. When I tell you I do, I'm an action person. When you start hiding things from me like this, I just get angry. I don't know.
So as you heard, send me the pictures that you have, because I told you that I have pictures. I have leaked pictures of Okafor and the lady and the travel information, their itinerary, of where they went and every place that they have been. That's why she's saying, send me that information so that I can go with that information to these people. These people, it's Okafor. So that I can tell Okafor to pay us, to give us money. The truth will reveal itself. All prophets were sending me to go and... This was an entire project to find fault in Prof X, to try to they are willing to throw Chioma under the bus as long as they are tying Chioma to Prof X. To say Chioma and Prof X were lovers. That was the first narrative. The second narrative was Chioma and Prof X were working together to extort money from these charlatans. But from this recording, I think it clears a little bit of air. Come on, there's a lot of information that I'll present to you that will clear all the air. But we take it one step at a time. So here she was very angry and mad at me for not giving her that information because she really wanted that information. That's the game I played with Chioma. I always told her stories to say, listen, I have this, to just make her always uneasy. And the guy that she's saying she profiled, I lied about. There's a time when I gave her, when she asked me, who's giving you information? When I exposed Okafor, then she asked me, who's giving you information about Chris Okafor? And then I sent them Jeremiah Omoto's son's number. This other young one, this other young baby charlatan called, I think it's Samuel or something. I think I'll put his picture here. I sent him the number of this young man. Then I said, this is the one that is sending me information about Chris Okafor. And then she went and then she found out that this young man is actually not even Chris Okafor's, in Chris Okafor's church, but he's a son to Jeremiah Omoto. And I did it deliberately and intentionally to just cause a little bit of chaos in their camp. From then, this young man was disbanded by Jeremiah Omoto. He was cut off from the system. Then I realized that Chioma is indeed connected to these charlatans. So it was the information that I had given her concerning this young man that made her feel, that made her tell me that, last time you gave me information, I profiled this person, and I found out that it's actually Jeremiah Omoto's son, not from Chris Okafor. Okay, fast forward. The next part of the conversation, which is very critical. Like I told you before, Chioma never had interest in knowing whether baby testimony is missing or not. Chioma and the Jeremiah Omotos, they already concluded that baby testimony is not missing because that's the narrative that they want to sell to the people, that the child was never missing. They still want to drop this stone on Ruth Matthew's head to say, Ruth Matthew, you are the one with the baby. But you people, I want you to put this into perspective before you listen to this part of the conversation. With all the money and resources Jeremiah Omoto have, do you think if Ruth Matthew had the child, Jeremiah Omoto could not have deployed a proper investigation into finding out where Ruth Matthew put the child? Think through it. If Jeremiah Omoto really knows that Ruth Matthew knows where the child is, don't you think he could have used proper channels to get Ruth Matthew to speak the truth about where the child is with all the money Omoto has? So it was my responsibility to tap into their thinking and to tap into, this whole thing of them trying to hide and sell this narrative of baby testimony having been with Sister Ruth Matthew. So I want you to listen to this part of the conversation. It's a very interesting one, which I had with Chioma Johnson. When I said, Chioma Johnson, okay, do this. Let's agree on something. Okay, listen to it first.
Hello?
Yeah.
Talk to me.
So what am I talking to you about? I don't have anything to
Talk to me about the streets.
You're not sending anything for the streets then. You're doing your thing. You're running your street by yourself.
Go to the streets, my darling, and make some moves.
Send me pictures to make moves. I call these people right away. I put you on call. You hear the negotiation. I don't have time. I'm angry. I want to use this anger. Bully these people.
You're gonna use the anger that Bisola is causing you. You're angry. You see, Jeremiah, this is the time you should sneak out that boy when there's this kind of noise. And no one will.
I don't know if he has a boy. That's his business. Not my business anymore.
Nah, but he does. Me, I'm convinced he does. If he had some proper counseling, this was the perfect moment.
go and tell him that
Give
I
me
am
his
not
number, I'll tell
brought
him.
up to that.
Give me his number, I'll advise him.
I don't have his number. I have somebody there. The
Give.
number I have, I sent you the number. You have the number.
You send me 100 numbers. You think me I'll be saving each number and trying? Do I look desperate to you? Call that person and advise them that, listen, people, it's the right time for you to sneak out that child.
No, I'm not gonna do that. As if they have a child, I'm not gonna do that. That's their business. But the way when I spoke to them last, the way the guy was talking, I don't think he has a child, because the guy was saying that if we pay this money, is the Ruth girl going to confess where she kept her child? Is she going to confess where she kept her child? That's what they were saying. Is this money going to make her tell the truth where she kept her child? That's what they were saying. So that's what got me confused.
Okay, I know you can judge character, and you can know when someone is telling the truth or when someone is lying. From them, did you believe that they really don't have the child? From the way that he was speaking?
From the way they were speaking, I don't think they have the child. Because when they were about to give that money, they said, is Ruth going to confess?
Which money?
That she knows?
Which money? That's small money.
I said, that's what I'm saying.
That's the money that they
when
were
they
asking.
were giving that small money, they said, are you not listening to what I'm saying? Or you want to speak your own? You ask me a question and I'm answering the question. From the way they sounded, they said, is this woman going to confess where she gets her child?
They're just playing. They're just playing safe. They probably think you'll be recording them.
I don't do recording. I don't do recording. I only recorded more. I don't do recording.
Chioma, you record. Stop acting like you don't record calls.
I don't record calls. I'm not lying about it. I swear on my life, if I'm recording you, let me die.
Chioma Johnson.
If I'm recording you, let me not even. I'm talking to you now. I'm on my earpiece. I'm recording you. Let me not wake up. Let me not even have children. The most important thing I want to have is children. Let me not have. I'm not recording you. And I swear on my life and honor.
Chioma Johnson.
I recorded Maury because I knew Maury was recording me.
Chioma Johnson.
You never trusted me. That's it. That's how I work with you. You don't trust me. I'm already tired.
I don't have a problem being recorded. Have I ever complained about being recorded?
I'm not recording you, for crying out loud.
That's why I'm saying that I'm not worried about being recorded.
With my other phone, because I put that other phone on speaker. Right now I'm using my earpiece.
Chioma.
And that earpiece, I'm the only one hearing you.
So in this part of the conversation, as you can hear, Chioma Johnson, she's liaising, advocating on behalf of Jeremiah Omoto's people to say, I spoke with these people. And they said, if we pay this money, is Ruth Matthew going to confess that she's the one that has the child? It's not like they're speaking this from their own holiness. It's not like Jeremiah Omoto is saying this because he knows he does not know anything about this, but he wants to sell a picture, an image. To say, okay, if we pay this money that you want to pay Omoto, engage proper investigative, detective. If you have nothing to do with it, to find out if Ruth Matthew is indeed lying or not, instead of arresting her and abusing her and threatening her. Why would you want to send money to get Ruth Matthew have a house that will be paid for what you call this, for 2 years, or to buy Ruth Matthew an apartment so that she does not talk about this, so that she does not claim or demand for baby testimonies justice? So they said, we will pay this money. What was this money being paid for? So that Ruth Matthew comes and confess. that she knows where baby testimony is. So I sent them a Nigerian account and they deposited, how much was it? 10,000 US dollars. But I think it was converted and then they put it into Naira. And it's still there, that money, not touched, not moved, not anything done to it. One thing you don't realize, people, is all this, remember there are only 2 transactions. Don't let them say that we were taking, no, there are only this transaction, which they did during this time when Chioma was fighting with Bisola. And now I was coming to them trying to manipulate them to say, Chioma, why don't you talk to Jeremiah Omoto so that he can just sneak out baby testimony at this time? So that he can just release him without anyone noticing. Because my heart bleeds for this boy. Chioma, just go and talk to him. Counsel him. Give him proper counseling. Talk to him. They denied. They are hardened. Omoto Fofana and his team, they are not in that position. I pushed them to all the extremes to try to convince them that me and Chioma were together. Me and Chioma, I listen to what Chioma says. Do anything you want. We can make this thing, lay low, but release the boy. Just release the boy. Chioma, I told it. Chioma, just talk to them. Cancel them. To say, just release the boy. Just release the boy. You can even do it privately. Sneak him out. And then we can even come up with a different narrative to say, oh, the baby was found. That's what Jeremiah would have just done. He would have just left baby testimony anywhere where anyone can pick him up. And we can now start just running narrative to say, oh, maybe Jeremiah did it, maybe he didn't. But what is important, what is of relevance, what's the most important thing is that we get baby testimony. So them agreeing to say, okay, we'll make sure that we secure Ruth, we get Ruth an apartment, and we'll also pay another 10,000 US dollars for a child. You people, you are gamers, you are players. You don't take this matter so serious. That's why Omoto would always say this would be a bygone. This case is dustbin. This case dustbin? That's what you really think? And the reason why they were doing these transactions, and they just wanted to make sure that Prof X Chioma Johnson, it will entirely look like the idea behind this case of baby testimony is to extort money from Omoto. That was the entire thing. They just want something to say, Prof X, the entire idea behind this missing child is to take money from Omoto. There's no money that we need from Jeremiah Omoto, not even a kobo. If Jeremiah Omoto gives us baby, I'll promise him this. If he releases baby testimony, we will never mention him again, ever and ever again. Never. I promise. And you know my word is my bond. We'll never mention him again. I swear to God. But they are trying. They don't want, they are hardened. These people, they've made up their mind. If we don't fight hard for this, we'll never get it. And when she was sending this money, this is her confirming that she is looking for a Nigeria. Because I sent her one of, I have so many people in Nigeria. I sent her this, one of my brother's account details. This is the recording of her telling me that she's sending the money.
Okay, hi, Prof X. I think the bank, we've been trying to do transfer on that Access Bank is not going. So if we can get another bank account so that it will go, because they're already in the bank to make the transfer. So if you can get another bank in Nigeria, Access is not going through. So another bank, let's try another bank, see if it will go through. They are waiting in the bank now so they can make the transfer.
And I think from then they were expecting that Prof will stop talking about this baby, this case of the baby. Guys, if you bring 1 billion right now, there's not a case that I will let go. The only time I will let go of this case is when the baby is found. And all this is just meant to neutralize the case of baby testimony. It's impossible. I know someone sent me a message. You say, Prof X, that is money for the wicked. Just give it away. We are going to give it away. But for now, I wanted to calculate and see where their moves are getting to. It's all there. And when the need arises, according to Proverbs 13 verse 22, the wealth of the wicked will be divided amongst the righteous. We'll just do a giveaway. It will be a good thing for the Nigerians, for those that are in Nigeria with Nigerian accounts. We'll just do an entire live broadcast whereby you will just be putting your account details, and all of you will be cashing out. And with the 3,000 that Chioma sent, that one it will be reserved for the international guests that are watching us. Those ones with PayPal accounts. Those ones will just be dashing them via PayPal. About 3,000 is not a lot of money, but at least those ones that will get it. Because all this to them was supposed to be evidence. To say, look, Prof X and Chioma, yet it was Chioma who was going to them and telling them that this is there and making these subliminary suggestions. Say, Prof X, what do you have? Let me send this information to these people so that they can pay us money. So, let's talk about the first voice note that I posted. That was not a recent recording. That recording of Lucy Natasha is not recent. It was recorded some time ago, before she met Camel. And you know where I got it? I got it from Chioma. And you know where Chioma got it? She got it from Chris Okafor. Do you know why Chris Okafor sent it to Chioma? He wanted to prove to Chioma that he's not the one that was after Lucy, but it was Lucy that was after him. So this was a man that was trying to prove to his own, to say, no, I'm not the one, I've never been with Lucy, because I know Chioma was asking Chris to say, so you have dated this lady, you've been with this lady. And then Chris Okafor said, no, I've never. You can even listen to this voice recording. So Chioma also sent this to me. She wanted to prove that Okafor and Lucy never had a thing. She wanted me to stop exposing Okafor on the scandal of him and Lucy Natasha. And Lucy Natasha is she still, I don't know if she was lying, a spiritual daughter of Jeremiah Omoto for fame. So in that voice recording, she was asking someone to ask Jeremiah Omoto for fame to hook her up with Chris Okafor. With that being said, I'll check you out on the next episode of the Enlightenment series. I'm out. It's Mr. Pull the Trigger.